That's a Glyphid.
Yeah,
and he's in rough shape. Don't know. This is actually the only really interesting part about this. To be honest, obviously we've wanted to see them in game.
I've been on a roll this week. These two, you know, I've been wanting to see. Well, not really that there's going to be infected Glyphids, but that we were going to see them. I called, and that they were going to drop the other things for yesterday's one. But yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, it is kind of stumping me, but I mean,
I think it's at least a praetorian. If you give it a moment to pass, you can see a bulb in its back,
exactly,
which is also,
but it's also colourless. Basically.
Yeah, which I think very much implies that is no longer going to be a weak point. And I think obviously there is going to be some other things there that
are weak points. Yeah. Well, that's obvious. Yeah. That's something we could say. But now I'm just more confused than ever. Because it doesn't look like either, I guess, really.
It's because it looks like a Glyphid.
It looks like a Glyphid. It looks like a Glyphid in rough shape. But yeah. I can't tell if it's a praetorian or a dreadnought. Frankly, I really can't tell.
I really do like how it lumbers. Like it actually looks like it's in absolute agony as it crawls along the floor.
So go down. It's a good animation.
It's really cool.
There's
yeah.
But yeah, it does look smaller than a dreadnought to me. Either way, I think we can. I think the only thing we can really say is that we can make the safe assumption that those are weak points / blisters of some kind. But this really doesn't. This still doesn't tell us how many things will be able to be infected. I
mean, assuming that you are right in that the other one, the thing we saw was a dreadnought. That means we're looking at about 3 infected.
And that would make sense to me, right? Grunt, Praetorian, and Dreadnought. That's like a good selection for the things to.
Though I think it'd be really interesting if it's only Glyphids, like only they're susceptible to the rock box. I think that would be the liphophage part probably more, but I think that would be a pretty interesting thing. And if they do a part 2, then maybe it could spread out to the other enemy types. That could be a thing.
But that's a whole other discussion. So there will be
that door left open. But yeah, no, I think this looks pretty sick. I think it bears mind that like the way they've been making enemy types recently, or at least the robots, they are pretty weak point heavy. Obviously, like. I mean, the robots you need to really hit weak points to actually do anything, like the patrol bots.
Yeah, but they also a lot of people didn't find them noticeable enough.
Yeah, they did kind of blend in, but I don't think you can say the same for these neon balls.
No, it's quite obvious what you're meant to shoot. I think. It's great.
Yeah. The thing is I get the feeling that like with the amount of them and how visible they are, we're probably looking at. If you're shooting anything other than the weak point, you're going to do no damage. That's the kind of impression that I get from this.
Or that the rock pox just jacks up their health. Well, that's what you mean, really, isn't it? They're very tanky. They just have lots of weak points.
Well, I think because it's also if they are like parasitic growths, right? Killing the main body, that's already basically occurred, right? You need to kill the parasites, which are those tumorous growths.
Exactly.
So without killing probably like a majority of them, maybe, or like because I imagine they'll pop as well, right? They look poppable.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said they look like blisters, because I think blisters. I don't think it's technical, but it's a good way. It's a good way of referring to weak points that can be destroyed. Such as what goo bombers and detonators have.
I think it is also something that it is. I would say this might be an accident, but it is patrolling the parameter of that infestation.
Nah, that's not. An accident, really, is it? That's where you'll find them. I don't think they're probably not going to come in swarms.
Exactly. I think that's going to be something, right? Because it's not just you're not going to then just have a normal swarm of these guys, like in a mission in a normal swarm. Like there'll be a praetorian swarm, and there'll be like a couple that are infected. I think that's going to be kind of like restricting them again, which is what they like to do with the new content and new enemy types. I think
an actual new swarm type would be pretty neat. So maybe they should do that.
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
Well, they didn't do a robot swarm type.
That's they didn't.
They also kind of did in their warning. So we might be looking at that. Maybe that if there is a warning of this, then there could be these enemies in normal swarms. That could be something we're looking at. But I think that is quite past what this teaser is telling us.
Yeah, but I mean,
but for now,
what is it really telling us? It's not actually telling us anything directly, is it? We can just the safest things we can say is the safest things we can say is we're not sure if this is a praetorian or a dreadnought. It has lots of those blisters are probably weak points of some kind, and they seem to be patrolling the rock pox formations. Yeah. So good luck with that.
I feel like, Harry, you've got to kind of use your game knowledge to acknowledge that is praetorian sized.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I was confused because I think the key art was showing us a grunt and a dreadnought. Not that it has to show us everything. But it's interesting that it's not either one of those, unless that was a praetorian on the key art. But I just don't think it was. I'm just really confused now. Sorry, this isn't a very useful informational video, but
yeah. But not long now, anyway, until you're gonna be able to fight these guys.
Who? Everyone on the experimental branch, and then PC, and then.
Or even then, not long for PC. Yeah.
No, not long at all. No, it's actually less than 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So good luck. Have fun with that. It's 13 days.
I think we're done here.
That's all, folks.